don't remember none of this. Like, that's weird. I don't even, like, know him like that. And Matt goes, do you got something to say about it? And then Riley like, no, because she didn't. She didn't remember anything. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is another story time and this story is called The Wrong Friend. So you guys get your popcorn, get your tea, get your lunch, get your dinner, your breakfast, whatever it is at this time, go get you a snack or something and listen to this story. So you guys, The Wrong Friend is on Tubi. So this movie is on Tubi. So after I give you my perspective of it, my, how I saw it, go and watch it. It's on Tubi and it's called The Wrong Friend. So basically, this story is about a guy. His name is Chris, and Chris' family is very wealthy, like the rich side of town wealthy. Like he got nice cars. He at home by himself because his parents always somewhere, always out of town, always at work. Chris' family is wealthy, so of course, like, he gets into things or have done things, especially at his school, his private school, to the point where now he had to switch schools. So Chris' parents enroll him into a public school in the same town. So Chris is basically at this public school, don't know nobody, and he's like, it's like weird because he's like, I guess, watching people, seeing who he can get to know, but at the same time, it's like he already had like his mind made up who he was wanting to become friends with. So now Chris see these two girls. It's like lunch is about to be over with. It's two girls walking towards the way he's at. But it seemed like Chris was hiding. So the girls are walking and he just comes from out from around a tree that he was standing by and basically speak to the two girls, and the two girls looking like, hey, you know how girls do when they think somebody's cute or something like that, and they approaching them like it was like a little giggle laugh type. These girls are in high school. So Chris introduced himself. Hi, my name is Chris. What's your name? And Riley speaks up first and she said, hi, my name is Riley. And then her best friend Kim says, hi, my name is Kim. And then Chris says, have like a little conversation with them, basically telling them, well, I'm new to the school and I want to get to know as many people as possible. And my parents are out of town, so I want to throw a party to get to know everybody at my house tonight. So can you girls like invite people over to my house? Riley says yes, laughing and giggling, and she says yes. And Kim and Riley look at each other like, okay. And so after that, Riley gets Chris' address. She take a screenshot of it with her phone. So now they all like, agree to come over. And then Chris had this little sneaky little thing. Like, oh yeah, it's a pool party and wear your swimsuits or not. And Riley and Kim like, okay. But it's like Riley really like think Chris is cute. She like smiling hard and everything. Chris walks off and then Kim reminds Riley, you have a boyfriend. Remember Matt, okay? Keep calm. You have a boyfriend. So Riley says, Matt who, jokingly, and then they both walk off. So now, fast forward, Chris' party starts. Everybody shows up. Riley shows up. Kim is not there yet, but Matt is there. And it's a whole bunch of other people in the school there. All of them having a good time in their swimsuits. But the whole thing is Chris has alcohol at the party. You know how rich kids are. They like think like rules don't apply to them. So Chris has alcohol and everything at this party. And you don't see Chris around right now, but Riley and Matt are like in the house part and they having like a disagreement, like a little back and forth argument, because Riley thinks that a girl likes Matt And you know, Matt a little too friendly with her, so they having this argument back and forth with each other about the conversation. Matt says, I don't care, like I don't want to argue about this, I'm out of here. Matt leaves the party and Raleigh just go back outside to the pool area at the party with her beer, and she's just standing out there, and Chris comes out on a balcony, because remind y'all, this is a big house. It's a really nice house. So Chris comes out on the balcony, sees Raleigh standing by herself at this party. He goes back in and comes down, but before he go outside, y'all, they have a bar area, and Chris goes to the bar area, pour a drink in a cup, and then mix the drink with some type of alcohol. And you know what they say, don't mix dark and light together when you drink alcohol, or try not to mix a lot of alcohol together. Well, Chris had thought in mind, so he mixed the drink, went outside, and just had a conversation with Riley, like talking to her, trying to get her basically to take the cup that he had. He throw this little weak punchline like, oh, you don't look like the type of girl that needs one drink. And here go Riley falling for it, y'all. So he takes the beer out of Riley's hand and give her the alcohol that he poured in the cup. You know those cups that people have in the club, the red cups? He give her that cup. She smells it, and it smells kind of strong. But trying to be cute, Riley start drinking the drink anyway, to the point where she's like literally tipsy, like can't even stand on her own. So at this point, Riley is like tipsy, and Chris loving it, honey. He like, yeah, like type stuff, like type energy, like, yeah. Not even like thinking like, oh, I hope I don't poison her nothing. Like his whole mind is made up like he have done this before type. So Riley is like tore up till she can't even really stand no more. And out of the blue, like Kim comes to the party. Like she just pops up at the party, comes and stand by the outside patio door, and she just looking at how Riley can't even stand on her own. And she just, at this point, Riley is like almost out of there. So Kim comes out, girl, like you are tore up. I'm about to take you home. Come on, let's go home. And Riley like, no, I'm fine. Tore up, y'all, just like leaning all on Chris, honey. Like just leaning all on him. And of course he got the big head about himself, and he like, oh no, I take her home. And Kim like, no, I'm gonna take her home. Basically what a best friend's supposed to be doing. And here go Riley, no Kim, I'm good. I'm just having a little fun. Girl, take your ass home. But anyway, Riley like all extra, and to Kim was like, okay, all right, but I'm about to go. You sure you good? And Riley like, yeah, I'm sure I'm good, girl. I'm straight. Chris like, oh, I got her. I take her home. I make sure she's safe. So even though Kim was like, I'm not feeling this, Kim left anyway, leaving Riley there by herself. So Chris walks Riley up to his room. Now at this point, Riley's still like up, like she's still like up, and I'm not gonna say alert. She was toe up from the floor up. He sits her on the bed and she's still laughing, and but she's like not knowing where she at. And Chris takes out his phone and just taking little pictures of her like leaning against him, like falling over and laying across the bed, to the point where Riley passes out, like out cold. Like she, at this point, she's sleeping. So Chris just snapping pictures of him. Now, the party's still going downstairs. Like it done turned from light to now nighttime to now daytime again. Fast forward all of that. Riley wakes up. She's at home in the bed. Riley wakes up. She look at her phone at the time. She hurry up and jump up. She called Matt, apologizing and saying we need to talk. And Matt, you know, hangs up Matt's phone because, of course, Matt didn't answer because it's school. So then Riley gets all the way up, goes downstairs, fix her some coffee. Her mother comes in the kitchen or whatever and was like, "You slept pretty late. You okay?" And Riley like, "Yeah, just my head just hurt." Of course, Riley, your head hurt, girl. You was toe up. My head would be hurting too. So then, next thing you know, after that, she's sitting there just talking to her mother. Like, I just don't remember, like, what time I got in the house. Her mother, like, you had to get in pretty late. So they just have a mother-daughter conversation, you know. And so Riley mother says, "I gotta go. It's time for me to go to work. Like, I gotta go." So Riley like, "Okay," or whatever. Riley goes outside, sits in a patio chair, and just closes her eye because at this point her head hurt. You might as well say she's sick. So she sits on a patio chair, closes her eyes. Y'all, why Chris was between some bushes looking at Riley, like, dude. Then he had on black gloves. Y'all, he was spying on her. Like, what? So then Riley, you know, that goes by. The next day at school, you know, Riley comes sitting outside with her friend, her best friend, and they're talking, and Riley tells Kim, like, "I don't even remember what happened. Like, I don't remember what happened at all. Like, I don't even know, like, how I got home." And they having this conversation, and Riley was like, Kim was like, "Yeah, you was, like, tore up at the pool party." So I can believe that. So basically, Kim saw that Riley was tore up at this pool party, but Riley could not remember nothing, and Kim couldn't tell her anything either because Kim wound up leaving the pool party. Plus, Kim don't even feel Kim don't even feel Chris like that. Like, she don't like him. Like, it's something about him. She don't trust him. So then that go by or whatever. And Kim is just like weary of Chris. Like, she's trying to figure out what is his motive with her friend Riley. Like, boy, you just got to this school. You don't know nobody. Like, boy, what are you doing? So Riley calls herself confronting Chris, wanting to confront Chris. So she tells Kim, "Yeah, I'm gonna confront him today. Like, this is weird. Like, how I don't remember anything. He had to put something in my drink, blah blah blah." Well, Matt walks up while she's talking to Kim, and Matt looks at Riley weird. So Kim, that's Kim Q, like, "Oh, I'll see you later, girl. Like, y'all need to talk. Let me go. Like, I'll see you later." So Matt and Riley start talking. And Matt says, "I can't believe you, Riley. You accused me of talking to another girl after I clearly told you that you're wrong and, like, nothing is between me and that girl. And you go and be all up in the guy's face and sleep with him." And Riley was like, "What are you, like, boy, what are you talking about? Like, you doing too much." So Matt pulls out his phone and shows Riley pictures of her and Chris at the pool party, like, just all hooked up, like, she all over him. And she paused. Like, at this point, Riley was in shock, y'all. She was like, "What? Like, I don't remember none of this. Like, that's weird. I don't even, like, know him like that." And Matt goes, "Do you got something to say about it?" And then Riley like, "No," because she didn't remember anything. But I don't know why she didn't tell Matt, like, something's weird because I don't remember anything and Chris gave me something in my drink. She just let Matt think what he wanted. Matt storms off furious. So then here go Riley. She goes to Chris' house and confront him. Chris acts like the psychopath he is. He acts like he don't know what Riley talking about. "Girl, what are you talking about? What pictures? I didn't send any pictures." Well, Matt, the number that sent the pictures, Matt has no proof of number. They don't know who number that is. So obviously Chris done, like, he knows some stuff, because of course his family got money. Like, so Riley couldn't prove that, like, Chris sent those pictures to Matt. But, like, who else would send the pictures? It was just being you in there. Like, what are you talking about, Chris? You sent them pictures. So Riley storms out. She's at home studying. Get, like, a notification on, like, her email or something. She pulls it up, and it's more pictures of her and Chris. Like, more pictures of them. And she, like, what the... So at this point, she's mad. Like, she goes tell Kim, and Kim was like, so you can't tell who they from? And she like, no, but they gotta be Chris. They gotta be his. Like, who else? Kim like, yeah, right. Like, who else would? So then Riley goes and tell Matt, like, this whole situation. Matt is mad. So Matt and Riley goes to Chris' house and confront Chris to the point where Matt was about to that hit quitter on Chris, like, cause Chris was laughing and thought that shit was like funny. Like, bro, what are you laughing at? Like, you're crazy. Like, I'm about to in your face. Like, what's funny? So weird. Like, when I say Chris was doing this weird ass, like, laugh and giggle type stuff, like, it was creepy, y'all. Creepy. So Matt was just like about to punch Chris in the face. Like, had Chris like this, about to punch him in the face. Riley had to grab Matt and like, no, let's go. And Matt and Chris was laughing, but the look on his face was like, go in and hit me. That's what I want you to do. Please hit me. Hit me. But Chris didn't get what he wanted, because he wanted Matt to fuck his ass up so he can go to the cops. But Matt did not do that. Riley grabbed him. They left out. But Matt did, like, if you don't leave her alone, you're going to have hell around this school. So Chris like, is it a threat? And Matt like, yeah. But Chris wanted him to hit him, y'all. I swear. So then after that, they left or whatever. Y'all, I kid you not. The police came up to the school, literally. The police comes up to the school, drag Matt and Riley out of the school, take them down for questioning or whatever. I wouldn't say drag them out of the school, but they got the principal permission to call them to the office and then take them out that way, so it won't be a big scene. So, y'all, the principal is Vivica A. Fox. I think she played as Miss Nelson. I can't remember her name, honey. But Miss Nelson tell them to go way down to the, to the police precinct or whatever. And when they get there, their parents with them. When they get there, y'all, how about Chris comes out with his parents all beat up? Like beat up. Have y'all seen Thin Line Between Love and Hate? Yeah. Basically, he was tore up. Like, he beat himself up. Like, and said that Matt did it. And Riley brought Matt to attack him. So he comes out looking all beat up and everything. And the police go in, question Matt and Riley. And again, they deny it. They did say that they was at the house. They told the truth about that. But they denied the beating because it didn't happen. It didn't. I mean, this boy crazy. So Riley standing up for Matt, like, he put his hands on him. He wouldn't lie. It's true. Like, he had to do this to himself. Police weren't hearing it because Chris' family got all of this money. Like, Chris' family living large. So, like, the police and stuff know them. So it's like the police and stuff was taking Chris' side over Matt and Riley's side. So basically, Matt, Riley, and Kim come up with this plan to, like, get the proof out of Chris so he can get in trouble. So now Kim and Riley acting like they don't like each other no more. They're arguing to the point where it's around where Chris at, so he can hear them arguing, so Chris can believe that they done fell out. So to make a long story short, they wind up convincing Chris that they couldn't stand each other. And so Chris and Kim start like conversating, and Kim got Chris to basically fall into the trap, take her to his house, and act like that they was having a conversation about Riley because, you know, Kim and Riley supposedly fell out. Well, Chris' car alarm goes off, so this gives Kim opportunity to snap pictures of his ID, his driver's license, paperwork, and other stuff, gathering information on who he is, where he came from, right? So she's searching while Chris out there trying to figure out who scratched up his car, and he like out there like this, y'all, like looking fucking crazy and angry type shit. Why Kim retarded ass in there looking for shit and taking a long time. Well, by this time, Chris come back in the house and Kim like hurrying up throwing stuff back together, sat on the bed. Oh my God, Chris, what's wrong? So Chris falling for it, y'all. He's so damn dumb. He falling for it or whatever. And he tells her he think it's Matt and Riley that did it to his car. And Kim trying to convince him, call the police. Like, oh my God, no they didn't. Even though she's not really on Chris' side. And Chris says, no, police can't do nothing. I got this. I'm about to, you know, basically he's saying, I'm gonna handle this because I ain't scared type stuff. So then the next day go by, Kim leaves, whatever, the next day go by, and basically Kim shows Riley and Matt all the stuff. So they start researching and looking up and found out he came from a private school. Then Matt knew somebody that went to that school, called him up like, I need some info on somebody. All of them meet up. Kim, Riley, Matt, and this other guy meets up. The guy tells them that the guy tells them that Chris have done something to another girl. Her name was Lisa, had supposedly raped Lisa, and then come to find out, the school was saying that some people said that Chris raped Lisa, but then some people said Lisa was easy or whatever. You know how rumors are in high school. And so basically Chris left the school. Basically, he told that story. He said Chris was accused of rape. Some people said it happened, some people said it didn't, and then all of a sudden, Chris wasn't going to that school no more, or Lisa, she wasn't going to that school no more after a while. So then Riley took it amongst herself to find out who Lisa's address. She found out who Lisa's address was, and she went to Lisa's house, and Lisa's mother came out. She introduced herself as Riley. Lisa's mother asked her what she wanted. So basically, they having a conversation, and her mother seems like she don't want to talk to anybody. She seemed depressed. So Riley was like, I'm sorry to disturb you. I'll leave. But then Lisa's mother was like, no, stay. Can I help you with something? And she's like, yeah, I'm looking for Lisa. And she's like, why are you looking for Lisa? Because that's my daughter. And she was like, I just need to ask her something about a school friend. And then she goes, who the school friend is? And she goes, do she know anybody named Matt? And then that's when the mother face was like scared looking. So she was like, Lisa is no longer here. She's deceased. And Riley like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So then Lisa's mother invite Riley in. She invite Riley in, pull up like court papers and stuff, explaining that Lisa said that Chris raped her. She went to the hospital and had bruises and stuff, but she couldn't remember like what happened. So Chris didn't get in trouble for rape because Lisa couldn't remember what happened. But a nurse reported the bruises and stuff on, Lisa. So then she went to say Lisa went back to school. Chris got off, and when Lisa's mother came up to agreement with the courts and the lawyers, the agreement was that Chris moved schools. So that's what he did. But she said that Lisa's life became a living hell after that because Chris' friends like tormented her and was all on social media saying how she was a slut and she's just trying to get money from Chris, and just that her life was in shambles. Her friends like banned her, like didn't want nothing to do with her. So one day she went to wake Lisa up, and Lisa didn't wake up, and she saw a bottle of pills emptied, and that then let her know that Lisa had killed herself. So Riley had got all the information she needed. So Riley left, told Matt and Kim about this whole situation. So they came up with a plan. Kim got in a car with Chris, y'all, and asked Chris who Lisa was. Chris got furious, like he was mad. He wanted to go through Kim's phone to see who the number was that even reached out to her about it, which that was a lie. But Kim had to come up with something to tell him, you know. So she said that somebody texted her, anonymous number texted her and told her this. But she refused to get her phone to Chris, to the point where later on that night, Kim got off work and Chris was masked up, came and attacked her in the alley, and thank God some guy seen him. But Chris managed to get away with her purse, and Kim was in the hospital. Like, she was all bruised up, her arm, everything. So she was in the hospital. But at this time, Chris had Kim's phone, and he was able to pull it up and see that that day that his car got vandalized by Matt and Riley, Kim was in his house taking photos of stuff. So that made Chris like even mad, y'all. So to make a long story short, Chris decides to go over to Riley's house. Go over to Riley's house and break in. But for some reason, her mother was off work early. So not only was Riley there, but her mother was there. And so Riley, she was in the tub and she heard some type of noise. And she was like, what is that noise? Like, what is that? So then after that, after she heard some type of noise, she was like, you know, like, what's going on? So Riley gets out the tub, comes searching through the house, and find out that was her mother making all the noise, even though her mother was there, but she didn't know until she got out the tub. So then she tells her mother was like, why are you so startled? And she was like, long day, I'll tell you, let me go put on some clothes and get out this robe. So Riley was going up the steps. Y'all, why did Chris come out of nowhere all in black and snatch her mother up? Had a knife, trying to cut her mother's neck or whatever. But he didn't. He held her, and he was like, it's all because of your mother. Riley, it's all because of your mother. And Riley said, no, you want me, Chris. Leave my mother out of this. You want me, let her go. You know, the typical shit. Like, you know. And how about he says, no, your mother did this. If she didn't mind her damn business or whatever, we wouldn't be here. Like, this wouldn't be happening. So Riley like runs up the steps, and at this point Chris is like explaining to Riley's mother, bitch, if you wouldn't have reported me at the hospital for raping Lisa, if you would have just mind your business, like none of this wouldn't happen. Now I got the best of Lisa, and I'm gonna get the best of your daughter in front of you. I got the best of your daughter, I'm gonna get the best of your daughter in front of you. Y'all, why the hell did Lisa mother already have something? Because, you know, nurses carry like scissors and all that stuff, and stabbed Chris. I think she stabbed Chris in the balls, like, I think, because baby, he was bent over. But he was trying to get Riley's mother. Riley comes down the fucking stairs, y'all, and shoot Chris. I think it was like 5, maybe 7. Hell, I don't give a fuck. Kill his ass, because that motherfucker was crazy. But she shoots Chris, killing Chris or whatever, and Riley mother and her hug. Y'all have to see this movie, because baby, Chris was motherfucking crazy, and he got every bit of what he deserved from Riley. Y'all, I'm just happy like her friends, her boyfriend, her best friend and stuff didn't get harmed through all of this. I'm glad it was Chris. But you guys, this movie is on Tubi. You have to see it. The Wrong Friend. It was a good movie, you guys. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Peace, you guys.